What's going on, guys? It's Poison on here. Hope you guys are having a great day, and today I'm coming at you guys with another Marvel video. Now this Marvel video is going to be me ranking the palette swap characters. Now I have been getting this recommended to me quite a lot, and I'm a fan of this idea, only because there's no one out there that's done this yet, and I feel like this will kind of help people get into the scene of just modding. So if you're new here, please be sure to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on an upload. I do upload, Marvel content, and I will be uploading modding content more often. Let's go ahead and get started with just me explaining the tiers. So first tier is going to be theory characters. Now, what do I mean by theory characters? There's this YouTuber that is called Pat. I think he has numbers after his name, but he basically says like theory and then the character. It's basically him breaking the character to make them the best character they can be, right? And sometimes he uses tasks, which is tool assistance, with like that specific character, and he just, breaks the character, and it's basically a way of saying this character has way more to them than meets the eye. Now the next tier is going to be Marvel good. Now this means that they're not broken, but they're just really good, and they would be great Marvel characters if they were in the game's launch. Now the tier under that is going to be good but needs assists. Basically they can do somewhat a good amount of damage, but not enough damage to just fully kill out the entire cast, so they're more than likely going to be a really good point character. Now the last one is just Dookie. Like I don't have to explain this one. It's just the character, like this would mean the character is bad to the point where you could waste so much meter. You can waste X Factor 3 and you're still like just barely killing them, or you're just struggling so hard with just damage in general. With all that out of the way, let's go ahead and get right into the first character. Now first character is going to be Captain Marvel. I feel like Captain Marvel has great damage, great neutral, great supers, and just great projectiles, and her combo routes are really good. So I personally feel like she'd be a Marvel good character, just because she isn't too overpowered and she isn't too underpowered. Like, she is well rounded with her damage and just everything in general. Up next we have Hunk. I personally feel like Hunk is good, but he needs assists only because don't get me wrong, he does do a good amount of damage, but he's very susceptible to rush down, so you're gonna more than likely need a defensive assist, and then you could also need an assist that'll help you continue your combo or just keep them away. So drones or Spitfire would be perfect for him, and I fully agree with this placement in my opinion. Up next I have Virgil. It shows as Virgil, but it's DMC5 Virgil. He is a great character. I'm gonna put some clips up on screen about the crazy things you can do with him.
Oh my goodness, the drone's so fast. Virgil, even quicker on top of that.
Good for extra damage there off the helm breaker, OTG. Oh, and actually crosses up on the jet stream, yeah.
He is definitely a theory character. You can go off in the lab and just find the dirtiest things. I think he got nerfed, don't get me wrong. He probably is a lot weaker than the clips I'm showing, but he's still a great character nonetheless, and if someone puts in that amount of time, he is definitely going to be better. Up next we have Psylocke. I haven't seen much of Psylocke. I know she has some loops. I don't know if the Maelstrom loops were nerfed, but she has a decent projectile with that magnetic blast kind of copy, so I think she's kind of weak, but I'm pretty sure she would be better off with assists, and for that reason being, I'm gonna put her in that category. Next is Monster Hunter. I don't even think it needs to be said. She's in between low damage and Dookie. I'm gonna go ahead and put her in Dookie just because she has very slow moves, and she is very easily punished. If you saw one of my recent videos where I went against a really good Monster Hunter, she got just not destroyed. I'm gonna give them credit, right? They did really good, but she just is very open in a lot of her strings. Up next is Rashid. I definitely feel like he should be good with assists just because of his command dashes. He's able to throw a projectile out and then just dash. Not only that, he does a good amount of damage, and his supers are very solid. I don't think he has any bad super. Up next we have Cyclops. Definitely gonna put him in the Marvel good just because he is as if he never left us in Marvel 2. He is a great character with great damage, great supers, great assists, great projectiles. So everything about him is good, and I feel like it could go back and forth between him and Captain Marvel. I definitely don't think he should be down here, but I do feel like his place is right there next to her, if not above her. It's just, I think it's up to interpretation at that point. Now, Red She-Hulk can be a theory character just because of the cancels. I don't know just yet if that'll carry her, because she does a good amount of damage. You know, any character with a level 3 usually is a good character, and I don't know, I'm just gonna leave her here for now. She might be able to like be good up here. I don't know how she fares against these other characters next to her, but I'm gonna leave her here for now just in case, and I'll move her if my opinion changes. And I feel like this next character, Umvc3 Sentinel, 100% belongs up here. Can be the best, if not under Virgil. You know, I definitely feel like he's one of the best ones. Just because if you haven't seen Tyson Coatings go off with him with tool assistance, he is amazing. It just depends if you have inhuman execution, honestly. Up next is Ken Masters. He's basically Ryu, but can combo his supers together. Like, I'm not even gonna like front with you guys. He can be good, don't get me wrong. Does a decent amount of damage, a good amount of like neutral. I'll put him in Marvel good for now and see where we go from there. I don't know if Hunk beats him. I mean, Hunk can probably zone him out. You know what? Yeah, you know, I'll move him down. Just because I feel like everyone needs to beat each other. Like Red She-Hulk needs to beat the other ones under her. Like I said, I still don't know for sure if Red She-Hulk should be there. Now, up next is Scarlet Spider. I kind of hate his guts just because he's like an easier version of Spider-Man that does a good amount of damage without much execution. But I can't at all ignore how good he is. He is a good character, and I definitely I'm not gonna leave him here. I'm gonna move him up actually. He belongs in one of these up here just because he has great damage and he just has good projectiles. I think you can even do a web ball combo. I haven't really messed with him much, but definitely he should be up here. Up next is Shadow Lady. Now I know she got a buff recently where she got some stuff added to her. I'm gonna go ahead and put her in the Marvel good category, and I feel like she can beat everyone under her. I don't know, I still don't know for sure if She-Hulk can beat everyone under her, but you know, for sure, Shadow Lady belongs there because of all the buffs she recently got. Up next is Shin Akuma. Now, I think I'm going to place him in theory characters because I have seen him do tons of damage and his combos do a lot of damage as well. Not only that, he has great projectiles and he's a tank, man. He just does so much for just being one character with no assists. Up next, I have Evil Ryu. I feel like Evil Ryu is a good character, don't get me wrong, but I don't think he's like good enough to be a theory character. I've seen people do some crazy like combos with him, but I'm gonna go ahead and put him in the Marvel good category, and I think he can like not beat Shadow Lady because Shadow Lady is still pretty like not busted, but she has really good tools to just, you know, be a good character in general. Up next, we have Stars Chris. Now, Stars Chris is basically Chris, but just with some extra things, and I don't know. I honestly don't know what like my tune is with Stars Chris. He doesn't seem like crazy different. I feel like Stars Chris just has more combo options. I mean, even normal Chris didn't have bad combos. He could kill off of the majority of hits that he did, and he had good zoning. I'm gonna go ahead and put him in Marvel good because of how like they added a lot of different things to him. Up next is Stars Jill. Now her zoning is insane, but I have not seen anyone go crazy with her just yet, you know, combo wise. I think she has great, you know, keep away, especially with that upwards grenade. It kind of reminds me of how Commando, what's his name, how Cable was. I'm gonna go ahead and move her over, let me see, here maybe. I mean, I don't have anyone else in that category. She doesn't do so much damage from what I see, but I'm gonna go ahead and put her there. And then Stars Wesker. Now this is one of those really good modded characters. I feel like he does really good zoning and a decent amount of damage. So I'm gonna go ahead and put him over here in Marvel Good, and I think he could beat everybody under him. Next is the Stranger. I haven't seen much out of the Stranger, but I think he falls into the same category as Doctor Strange, where you need to have a lot of meter or X Factor to just be really, really good with him, or assists in general, but from what I've seen, he doesn't do that much damage. Up next is Thanos, and I think everyone can agree with me that he's a good character, but not good enough to stand on his own like in Marvel Good, but he's good enough that he needs assists to make him be like the best him, you know? He can do some 300%. I don't know if you guys saw Heafnoff's video. I'm going to play a little bit of it on screen, where you can get a 300% if you play your cards right. You just get a hit with Thanos, do a TAC infinite, and get enough meter for the level 3. X Factor the character, you know, get the kill, and then get another level 3, you know, like things like that. I probably said the order wrong, but you know, Thanos is a good character, and you can get a lot of setups with him with his level 3. Up next is Urian. Urian is an amazing character. I would even go as far as saying he's a theory character, just because how creative you can get with his Aegis reflectors. You can do so many crazy combos, it's insane. Not only that, he has great assists, and he just does a ton of damage along with the anti-keep away. He kind of falls into the same category that Dormammu is, because you know how Dormammu can kind of counter Morgan because he's like anti-spam. And yeah, he definitely deserves to be in one of the top spots for this list. Now up next we need to rank is Captain Commando. Now Captain Commando is not a good character, sadly. Don't get me wrong, there's a lot of fan service there when it comes to how good he is, like looking wise, and all like his taunt, his animations, everything. Like fan service like is crazy, but just he doesn't do him damage. He doesn't do damage when it comes to him having X Factor 3 or wasting a ton of meter. Up next is DMC1 Dante. Now DMC1 Dante is a good character. I might put him in theory characters just because I know I feel like if you master him, yeah, you can do crazy amount of things, because I saw how IFC Yipes was using him, and he was like looping supers non-stop, and you could loop to death. So I just don't know if he's at theory yet. I'm gonna go ahead and place him in Marvel Good, and maybe I'll change him later. Up next is US Agent. Now I feel like US Agent might fall into like the Wolverine category, because he has a lot of like command dashes, a lot of little mix-ups he can do. I think he would be good with assists. Now I don't think he can do like crazy amounts of damage by himself, so that's why I'm putting him in this like part of the tier list. Up next is my son, my favorite like kid of the bunch is Whackbot. Another theory character in my opinion. Amongst Shadows outdid himself with this mod. There's just so many things you can do with this character, and the sky's the limit. As long as you have creativity, you will be able to make the craziest combos. The next character is M. Bison. Now M. Bison is an amazing character. I feel like he is a great character in every single slot, but I personally feel like he would be better off with assists, only because he can do like a million damage by himself, but with assists he can just kind of break that threshold and be able to TOD off of any hit. And yeah, I feel like his spot is well deserved here. Right now I'm just trying to see where exactly he would be. I think Hunk might be able to keep him away, but I feel like he could beat everybody else. Up next is Wolverine X23. Is basically X23 with some of the Wolverine buffs, and I think X23 just is amazing in general with her plank dashing, so that kind of gets transferred. I don't think she gets Swiss cheese off of this one. I think she's able to plink, right? If she's able to plink, she definitely belongs up here. If not, then damn. Up next is X. X is an amazing zoner, but his damage is just so bad. I feel like it's like a good balance, just because, like, you know, he doesn't do much damage and his zoning is good. I'm gonna go ahead and put him down here just because of that fact alone, that he can't like TOD like crazy, you know, like Zero can. Speaking of zoning, this is like probably the best zoner out of the palette swap characters, just because she has a shield where she can actually block projectiles. So not only is Jean Grey sending out like a minefield of projectiles, she's also blocking that much, you know, projectiles coming at her. So she is an amazing palette swap character, and I feel like maybe she could be here. I don't know if Laura could beat her, you know, the Wolverine Laura, but I think this is a good spot for her. Like, I genuinely do. Now up next is Clea. I love Clea because I've kind of messed with her a bit in the lab. She's amazing, but I don't think her assists are good enough to run her second or third. I feel like she'd have to be like a point character just so she can do a ton of damage with assists. And right here I have Lilith. I feel like Lilith is more combo based as opposed to Morgan. She can do a little bit of like Soulfist spam, or I don't know what it's called, like her version. It might be Soulfist as well. But yeah, I think I'm gonna put her right behind Jean Grey because of the anti-zoning that Jean Grey has and how much of the zoning that Lilith needs to kind of make her way in. Up next is King Thor. King Thor doesn't do much damage, at least from what I've seen from him. I haven't seen anyone go off with him. I've seen people do a little bit of damage and kind of good zoning, but the thing about that is normal Thor didn't even do much damage. What mainly carried Thor was his health, and if I remember correctly, King Thor has like 900k or something like that. I feel like Thor not being able to break 1,000,000 health is just bad. Like, he needs to have a good amount of health. That's why he's useful for the majority of the part. You basically have him take a lot of chip and you build meter for your other characters while also zoning, you know? And lastly, because I'm just looking here, I forgot Phoenix Wright and Maya. Oh no. We have Orange Hulk. Now Orange Hulk is basically Hulk but with blink dashing and less damage, because Hulk just does an insane amount of damage. It just depends. Maybe you could get a little game plan where you like X Factor the person you're going up against and try to get momentum that way. But I'm gonna go ahead and rank Hulk. Let me see. I'm gonna go ahead and put him in the category where he's good but only with assists. Like, maybe he can do a ton of damage. I haven't seen a lot of people use Orange Hulk, but he kind of falls into the same category as these other characters where he just needs assists and he's just kind of at a disadvantage because he doesn't have like the ability to just do damage on his own like these characters up here. Okay, now I'm actually like really overthinking this Red She-Hulk. I'm gonna move her a bit down. I don't think she can beat Captain Marvel or Cyclops. I might just like kind of move her a little bit. Maybe she could be at the bottom of here. I just think she has the potential to be like fully found out with all her cancels and all these other combos that she can do. I think this would be a good place for her. She's like the lowest of one of the high tiers, but I honestly think this is a pretty good list. Now I know I didn't add Phoenix Wright and Maya, but I feel like they would kind of probably be kind of high tier going on to they need assists, just because they're pretty good. They do a good amount of damage. Have you seen that Hazy do a little bit of damage with Phoenix Wright and Maya? I know he used them a bit, but yeah, I think this is a good list. So yeah, just ignore the fact that I forgot Phoenix Wright and Maya. They will 100% be probably around this high tier area. And that about does it. You guys made it to the end of the video. Congratulations. It's been a long ride. There's been so many times where I had to like stop recording because my dogs were like making noise in the background. But if you guys made it this far, please make sure to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on an upload. Also, I'm not sponsored. I do these just because, you know, I just love Marvel that much. But if you want to pay me back in some way, shape, or form, I do have a link in the description. Go ahead and use my DoorDash code so I can, you know, order beef jerky at a discounted price. But yeah, guys, I'll catch you guys later. Peace.